Right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to game number 2, our best of 3 series between Foxblazing and Pollina. Bit of a longer, significantly more hard-fought game for game number 1, but Fox does end up taking it. Pollina really struggling with debt throughout the entire game, and that did seem to cause too many difficulties. Morgan is still here, doing some commentary with us, and I'm sure he has something to say about this map.
Thank you, Zoltar. I think that the best claim is going to be down south. Whether the players will choose to go for scientific, given the nuke situation and the high steel, I don't know, but I'm not seeing
Core samples, too. I love scientist in this spot down here, actually. It's only 3 water, but with core samples available, you can extend that out very, very easily. Nobody's going to take it. But Fox gets into a scientist, interestingly enough, by the silicon.
I'm not sure about that. I mean, if Glass had started high, then possibly that would be fine, but he's pushed himself into a situation where he needs to take... Well, he's pretty much got to go for teleportation at some point.
Well, there's ice everywhere, but do you really want to rely on ice as a scientist in particular?
No, you don't. I can only think that's a misclick by Fox.
One nice move out of Fox, I will say, right at the start of this game, was he did secure an insane amount of aluminum. He got 122 bought up rather than just the 80 that he requires, trying to make upgrading very, very difficult for Pollina. Pollina has secured the 80 that she will need to get the upgrade, but that will allow Fox to simply sell down, take his upgrade if he would like at some point.
Yeah, good move there by Fox. Very good move.
Just a nice little profit right there. Your opponent has to buy that aluminum if they didn't secure it. You may as well go ahead and take it.
Has been upgraded.
I think Fox, I don't know. I think Fox has put a lot of pressure on himself. I mean, he's...
Yeah, I still hate the found, but it was a nice move.
It was an excellent move. And it's... I think Paulina's definitely looking like she's got a better situation.
I don't like this claim, though.
The second iron?
The second iron I'm also a little nervous about, but what I really don't like, and this is the other reason I hate the expansive here, is the fact that you're taking a medium aluminum. There is a high available elsewhere on the map. It's further away, it doesn't have strong adjacency, but just as good as the medium does. And it's not a medium, and there are nukes on the board this game.
Yeah, Fox has sorted his steel out by core sampling. Maybe he thinks he's going to core sample off this little water here. Which
that is actually a fair point. There is a single water tile there.
I think he core sampled that water.
Yeah, he might have, because I don't remember it being there before. Yeah, he did. He definitely core sampled that water. Strange tile to core sample. I wonder what he was aiming for.
Well, he needed to get this. He needed to get the third steel melon, didn't he? So
yeah,
lucky.
But why that tile in particular? The water that he ended up hitting. Maybe it was just the riverbed in the area. The rest of this is like cracks and sand. So maybe that was just the most likely tile in the area to hit water.
I think that probably was the only water that he could grab.
Yeah, there's a couple other riverbed tiles in there. It's a little harder to tell with the ice everywhere, but there are, and riverbeds are one of the places where you're most likely to find water. So it makes a lot of sense, actually. Strong moves by Fox this game so far, after the strange found.
Oh, definitely. I mean, Pollina, well, she suffered there by not taking a high aluminium. At least if she had the high, then this would be a low. But now it's down to trace, which it's going to make a struggle for aluminium.
Yeah, problematic, especially because there's not a whole lot you really want to do with that tile right now. Solar panel might look okay, but silicon's up at $40 a piece at the moment, so it's not really a great option. 28,000 to Foxblazing for that geotherm. I'll accept it. Science up against expansive. You've already got your steel set up in a triangle.
Pollina needs to blow that immediately before a goon squad gets on it.
The black market
is a fair point
for business.
Could be a nice big hit there with the dynamite.
That could be a crushing blow. I mean, Fox has B levels. B bond rating at the moment. If you can force a scientist into early debt, then it's definitely to your advantage.
Pollina buys a goon squad. I am not sure about that in particular. Fox
Well, he's
did also buy a goon squad. We're okay. We're okay.
He's gooned that up. Pollina doesn't actually have any power coming in at the moment. I mean, she's not in massive amounts of debt, but she could definitely do with getting some kind of power down. There's no more geothermal. Oh, there are geothermals, my mistake. All up north.
Yep, got 3 of them left on the board. Those should be reasonable to take, but there is this problem for Pollina. Pollina actually going to transition into some farms right now to try and push through that last little bit. I guess it's okay. It did take up 20 glass, though, so you had 20 out of the 40 you needed, and then you use 20 of it to put down farms, which then have to make that 20 back, and then they start turning into profit. It's a little bit of a strange situation.
It is indeed. Fox has been forced to turn off his steel mills. I imagine that's because of the power situation. Pollina moving into the... Well, Fox has bought up a lot of glass, which is going to make it even harder for Pollina to upgrade.
Ooh, circuit overload, just trying to be more of a problem. Yeah, and Fox mostly has just been managing to avoid selling his glass off, I imagine, the high price of aluminum, and the fact that he has sold steel down to a very, very low price. Pollina is going to be the first to 3. But needs to secure aluminum and needs to secure power.
Yeah, power I think is the
Assigned
most
to the
pressing
HQ
need
has
for
been
her at the moment.
A little more difficult than it might appear with the steel price, of course, because the expansive player, of course, does not get half price on the aluminum cost of the geotherm. While it's often negligible, this game, we're talking about $4,000 extra on that.
Yeah, I mean, Pollina's been forced to turn off her steel production just because, well, she can't
Circuit
afford,
overload.
can't afford to slip down anymore.
That is what makes the circuit overload a bit questionable. While it feels great to hit steel mills with that and get a lot of power consumption going, your opponent does have the advantage to just shut those down.
Yeah, I mean...
The opportunity to.
Fox would probably be better going for a core sample. I mean, he's got a second greenhouse farm down here, but there's anyone, he's got no water coming in, so very quickly I imagine the price of water is going to start increasing.
See, I don't like the core sample from Fox. I actually want him to buy more circuit overloads and just hang on to them for when power actually comes online. Then you shut that down, and your opponent's going to be in a very bad situation indeed.
Yeah, Pollina's got a single wind turbine, got a goon squad on it, so I can imagine we'll see a nice line of them, which is the meta at the moment.
Yep, should be pretty easy to do. Decent amount of cliffs around. It's at least a strong wind tile here with 3 wind adjacency even to round up that line. That's going to be very, very nice indeed. Fox already in a patent lab.
Fox, unfortunately, one of his core samples has picked up silicon rather than water.
Pirates.
It happens.
I hate those
Believe me,
bandits.
it happens. However, his other core sample picked up both silicon and water. So,
Yeah, he's got
you
some
know.
options there. Good use of pirates, though, from Pollina. I like that. As Fox, he's got no goon squad on his patent lab at the moment, which possibly could cause some issues.
The patent lab is constructed. Let's
Good.
get our
We'll
science
see
on. The black
dynamite
market
from
is
Pollina,
open for
maybe?
business.
She's only got
not
14
for the
seconds.
moment. Goon Squad's out now, so not going to get anything done in that area.
There are spies available, so I imagine we'll see a spy, hopefully, get down on the patent lab. I mean, if
The
the slow
black
start from
market
Fox,
is
but he
online.
appears to be pulling it back. They've gone for perpetual motion, which I'm not... I can see why he's done that, but I'm not sure if that's the best use. I think slant drilling would have been better for him.
Yeah, slant drilling certainly would have been an option, although with core samples, once again, how much do you worry about slant drilling? Avoiding the temptation of just immediately going after teleportation as well, which I actually like, simply because he will be able to link all of this up to his base without too much trouble.
Yeah, exactly, and he's got a solar condenser down there, so he's hopefully... There we go. Pirates are picking up the water rather than the food. Water's still quite valuable though at the moment. Pollina doesn't. Well, she needs another source of water.
Not too hard to get. I mean, there's ice everywhere. Already has some water right next to her base.
new
Adding to
claim is
that,
available
it's
for
going to be
auction.
just fine. Has a lot of water nearby, quite frankly. Extra claim auction. Well, both players are doing just fine in debt. Pollina's wind turbines really saving the day there.
Massively.
Don't know what this claim's going to go for.
I would imagine we'll usually see it at 20k. That's about the typical price that it would go. I don't think the players are going to push it much further, although Fox may pay 24 for it.
I was thinking we might actually see a 28 claim here, given where the game is right now, but we'll just have to see. We'll have to see what these players decide.
Yeah. There we go. You're right, I don't think we'll see any much more than 28.
No,
So-
probably not. The other reason, by the way, I just want to get back to this slant drilling since it hasn't finished up yet, because Fox had it queued for so long. I really would have liked to see virtual reality instead this game. You've got an expansive player that you're up against. You're a scientist. It's not great, but just taking that away, we saw it was 250,000 last game. It was scavenger expansive, but 250,000 on that pleasure dome. I think virtual reality could be a really big deal here. Oh, Fox, why? You don't need to do this. You don't need to do this.
I can, well, science. Patterns are cheap for the scientists. Well, they're quick for the scientists. What's possibly cheap, but yeah, he could have gone for something else. I totally agree there. But
I mean, it's okay. It's
Yes.
fine.
yeah, but I think he definitely needs to have it at some point. But possibly
Yeah, eventually.
just now.
The black market
Maybe
is
just
open
not
for
exactly
business.
right now. I honestly don't think that he should be using this patent lab right now, interestingly enough. I think he just needed to take the upgrade. He should have access to it very easily with $70,000, and I just don't think there's any reason to pass up on it for this long, even if you are churning out patents at the moment.
That's it. Well, I think all his money's tied up in glass, which I don't think it needs to be. I think that needs, like you say, needs to be sold down. Get that upgrades, get expanded a little bit more, but he's rotating, which I don't
One
know.
thing I do want to point out, the reason that teleportation is a little more acceptable is this idea that the core sample train got pretty heavily interrupted. He could have still tried to continue it, but this idea that both of these tiles now have silicon on top of them, as well as the fact that he would be pushing into cracks and sand as he tried to get closer to his base rather than something like a
Black
riverbed or a
market is
lakebed,
online.
does mean it's unlikely that he would keep hitting water with the rest of these core samples. So teleportation does give him access to water elsewhere on the map.
Yeah, but as you say, he is on ice, so
He is on it.
Surprised,
if
just
it really comes
disappointed in
to
you.
it, then he could just rotate into ice for the minute. I don't know. He's going forward though. I don't think he's going to have a.
Don't
bit of
do
a
it, Pollina. Don't do it. Yes, the spy came
We have
down
a
and Pollina
hard-to-come-by
has a
land
nuke
claim
ready to go
available
on
to the
this
highest
aluminum.
bidder.
I'm hoping Pollina spots it that, nope, don't want to do that.
Definitely not.
Not against the slant drilling. That's one of the reasons slant drilling is a nice pickup for our scientist, is it secures those last little resources typically away from a tool like an underground nuke and really leaves those for you to play with, your opponent having to deal with them the entire game.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a very good point. This claim, do you think it's going to go higher than 20?
I could easily see 24 again, but 20
Congratulations.
I don't find too surprising. Both players in a bit more debt now, 75,000. Nobody's making food at the moment, interestingly enough. We are going to see Fox get a little bit more down. This is the other. He could just put this tile here, but that's okay. That's okay. We're after virtual reality now. For Fox, he's got a tile secured and Pleasure Dome on the way. Underground nuke.
Wow, that.
All right. That's not a big hit from the nuke, but I don't know if you're going to get much better, and it's worth noting that Pollina did not purchase that nuke.
No, but if it was.
The black market is
I
open
can't
for
see
business.
any reason for that. I think that's a bit of a waste.
Well, I mean, if you're not going to use the nuke for anything else, although one thing it could have been used for was maybe getting through another goon squad, but then it gets turned back on you, and I don't mind it. Knocking a medium down to a low is not the worst thing in the world.
Yeah. Ah, well. We shall see. Time will tell. Pollina
I
has an
suppose so.
upgrade if she wants it. Whether we'll see an upgrade out of her or not, I don't know.
Yeah, Fox in a pretty similar situation. Interestingly enough, holding food high and leaking almost 1 a second right now.
Good move from Fox. I mean, Pollina's not in food. Food's only going to increase as they're both and the colony consuming. Fox has got his pleasure dome up and running, which is a nice little source of income for him. Pollina back into some food. She probably needs a little bit more food than that.
Well, this at least would secure away the debt, but unfortunately it's going to get frozen out very quickly. Pollina choosing to secure stock before going after the upgrade. Things are looking pretty good for Fox right now.
An expansive HQ
The
has
longer
been
it
upgraded.
goes, the more chance I think Fox has.
Well, those patents he's managed to pick up will really kick in the late game. Still has the ability to grab thinking machines if off-worlds become relevant, although they are not all that great at the moment. They are usable at almost 30,000 profit.
Yeah, I mean, paired with a optimization lab, then food will be a reasonable launch. I mean,
It's true. Especially once he sells down out of what he's holding right now. Although, no, he's actually sold down. That's the true food price now.
which is high, very high.
Very high, indeed.
Which you can see why Pollina's moved into this little
A
triangle
fully
of food.
refurbished mule is ready to lend its aid
And a
to
mule.
the highest bidder.
Are we even going to see a bid on this mule? Silicon wouldn't be a bad mule target.
Yeah, Silicon's fine.
For Pollina, anyway. I mean, will Fox have a bid just to push the price up? He does. So,
I think I might honestly let that go, because even though Silicon's fine, you have to pay a lot of fuel to pull that Silicon in with a mule. So, I don't know how worth it would be. Oh, Fox bids again. Like, Fox can get Silicon pulled in very easily with this mule, and it's not going to cost him a whole lot. But for Pollina, it's a lot more expensive.
mules
So-
use fuel, do they?
Yep.
I did not know.
One
black
tick of
market is
fuel
online.
per second on that mule. If we just check Pollina right now, 1.0, 1.2 from freighters, now down to 0.6, 4, but yeah, 0.1 from the mule. It also takes a very long time for the mule to be active. Going to choose to take in aluminum instead, which is fine, I suppose, and certainly a lot cheaper than the silicon.
If aluminium stays at the price it is, then break even, I suspect.
Yeah, if off-worlds do come online, aluminum becomes valuable once again. There's the option as well of moving into electronics, although they are not particularly interesting at this point. Very balanced colony, I feel the need to point out. 3 warehouses, 3 machine shops, 3 offices.
The hacker array is finished. Time
Don't
to
often
change
see
our
that.
passwords.
No, not typical in any way.
A scientific
Pollina there
HQ
moving
has been
into a hacker
upgraded.
array. I wonder what the work she's
The
going to get
black
done with
market
that.
is open for business.
Optimization Center also
Optimization
going to come
Center
down
is
this
ready.
game. I
Time
wonder
to start improving
what we're
everything.
going to see out of that. I could see oxygen pretty easily. I can see food is okay if you're planning on the off-world. That said, I'm a little concerned about the fact that we haven't seen thinking machines come out of either player just yet. Their playstyles both seem to lend
I wonder
toward
what goes on in there.
longer, drawn-out games where thinking machines is continually very, very important, especially with both Power Surges and Dynamite still readily available this game.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that Pollina's not moved into a patent lab, I mean, Fox could just take his time and work through the patents. I mean, carbon scrubbing, I think, was a good move for him. I mean, chemicals are so
Did you think
profitable
it would
at
be
the
so
moment.
easy to hoodwink?
Fuel is just so cheap. Ridiculously cheap.
Price manipulation still begins shortly. The engineers have advanced our production.
Dynamite comes down, trying to get in the way of this patent lab, but thinking machines is easily secured for Fox at this point. Pollina's cooldown will not come up fast enough to do anything about it.
No, I think that's... Well, Fox has definitely got the best of the patents. He's got all of them.
Yeah, except for Energy Vault, which got auctioned off at some point. Is he going to pick up Superconductor to round out the set, or are we going to be done after Thinking Machines, is my question.
I would imagine we'll be done. I can't see much use in it. I don't know. Having Superconductor in your arsenal is not a bad move. I mean, power
It
does
allows
climb
transitions
You can't
later,
let them get
and on top
this.
of that, the other
Get
reason
it
I
now
can support it
before
is
it's
the
too
idea
late.
that Fox has only ever committed to one source of power this game, for the most part, I believe, just this one geotherm.
Well, he did pick up.
Did he pick up something else as well? Oh yeah, perpetual motion has been helping out as well. That's just why he's gotten away with just the one geotherm. But
He had that very, very early. That was the first one that he did.
Congratulations.
water engine auction goes to Fox, so it basically gets deleted.
Oh, don't need that. Not with
I mean,
teleportation.
if you got a mule, maybe. I don't even know if water engine affects mules. I'd imagine it does. I'd hope so.
Hard to tell. Fox needs to rotate out of his glass. I think he could probably move into something a little bit more profitable in this area.
Yeah.
I mean, ice.
I mean, it's pretty easy to just make electronics at this point, I'd say. You have carbon scrubbing, you have some aluminum secured. Why not?
Yeah, I mean, Pollina's suffering a little bit from lack of water. Although she... No,
Yeah,
no.
it's a bit strange where that optimization
Our
center was
methods
placed in
continue to
particular. I
improve.
never like to see an advanced building thrown down on top of a primary resource, and it feels like it's getting in the way a little bit here, with the exception being all this iron that Pollina already has so much of. It's just quite excessive, and you're never going to need that amount.
No. Especially with the price of steel coming so low. I think probably time for Pollina to move into an off-world. Well, Fox has got a decent lead, but he's chosen a hacker array rather than...
He's trying to hack up glass, which I'm not so sure about right now, because glass, even though he's got a huge stockpile, but it's worth $1 right now. If he sells all this down, glass will be worth $1. So I don't know if the hack's going to be particularly effective. Might have liked to see it on something like chems instead.
Yeah. I mean, chems I think would be far more profitable for him. Although Pollina has moved into chems now, so...
Yeah, you got power surges for that, whatever.
Yeah. And he's
Prepare
killed,
for pending
killed
market
chems at the
adjustments.
moment, so... Pollina does have carbon coming in, so... She's not into... Oh, that forces a rotation.
It does. It does indeed.
What's optimizations Pollina gone for? Well, she's just optimizing chemicals. Yep. I kind of think that optimization lab has been there a long time and hasn't really been used.
Yeah, it has not gotten a whole lot done just yet. Got one oxygen, one iron. Iron is very
The
strange
black
to me to go
market
ahead and
is
pick that
online.
up. But one chemical as well.
I was looking
Chemicals,
at
so...
Fox.
Alright, got that sorted out then. But could have upgraded some food very easily, could have upgraded oxygen very easily, even more, I would say. I really hate something
The
like this
local
iron
union
upgrade
rep is
when it's so
available to
easy
the
to move
highest
into more
bidder.
iron just by transitioning your tiles.
Yeah, I can't see any need for that.
Electronics would have been
Auction
another
unclaimed,
potential
bidding
easy upgrade, I
closed.
would say. You already have secured a source of carbon, you've secured silicon,
Market
you've secured
misinformation
aluminum
in progress.
if you need them. Very, very easy to go ahead and upgrade those
Optimization
electronics and
routine
get into that
successful.
market.
Pollina moving.
Fox is already solidly in.
Yeah, I can imagine Fox is going to clean this up at some point. Like we were saying earlier, weren't we? The longer this runs, the more it favours the
patents.
scientist. Yeah, especially with all the patents he's got.
One's coming online
Market
now.
is assembled. Our
Profits
fortune
are
awaits.
reasonable, almost 40. 40 on chems. Well, launching the wrong thing, of course, in this food, but that's okay. Especially the wrong thing, because you may as well use the chems and drive up the price of the
The
optimization
black
center your
market is
opponent's
open
operating
for
on.
business.
Yeah.
Not that it really matters for the moment, as the off-road did get a little explodey there for a while.
I'm not. Where is? Oh, there it is. Is that a second off-world he's moved into? No. Is that his first off-world?
Yep, trying to get it repaired.
Oh, Pollina blew it up.
Yep.
I missed that.
Let's
Price
see.
manipulations to
Polina
begin
not currently
shortly.
sitting on a dynamite, currently sitting on a
Market
cooldown,
is
though.
finished
That's
and
a
awaiting
problem.
orders.
This stage of the game, there is no excuse to have a cooldown on your black market. You should be blowing this every single
Prepare for
chance you
pending
get.
market adjustments.
Yep. That off-world needs to go. And quickly. Maybe Fox is just pulling ahead. Every tick, he's getting a little bit more ahead. He's been allowed to. Well, he's unfettered access to hacking glass. And Pollina's got 100, but
Sold out of that.
it's going to be an off-world, I'm guessing.
Oh yes, it would have been $1 if he had sold out of literally all of it. He only dropped it down to $4 though, so...
Yeah.
Oh boy. Well, Fox has a massive lead in cash, to the point where he is just about to the point where he can end this game very, very soon. Dynamite continues to come down, and Fox is going to keep repairing. I don't know if that's entirely necessary, or even necessarily the right decision to clean up this game, now that steel's getting a bit more pricey.
Yeah, I don't think it was. I think he could have quite easily powered on through.
Why does Fox have so much of his own stock?
Well, I can only assume that he's
The engineers have advanced our
bought it so
production.
that he can make a little bit of profit by selling it off later. Because he certainly doesn't need to have his own stock. He doesn't seem to be in any danger from Pollina at the moment.
No, Pollina very much struggling to find cash this game, which is maybe just a few weak rotations. It feels like a lot of what we've seen from Pollina is maybe just indicates a little bit of being overwhelmed. Just some simple things that aren't being noticed, aren't being picked up on, and that's really starting to cause an issue, which can happen at times in a late off-world trading company game. There's just so much going on the market, so much of what your opponent's doing, so much that you need to do, that you don't notice simple things like, oh, aluminum's up at $100. Maybe my solar condensers should be pulling in aluminum instead for the time being.
Yeah, I mean, she's not going to get a huge amount of aluminum from them, but definitely we're better than solar condensers at the moment. Although water is obviously a huge issue. You don't want to be getting short of water. Fox is...
Our methods continue to improve.
I kind of think that it may be better as food. I mean, food is the launch that everybody's putting out. So why he's pulling water in when he could be pulling food in, I don't know.
Indeed. Fox is surplus for some reason, which seems quite strange to me, as it'd be very easy for him to simply make a very large amount of it, but I don't think any of that's going to matter all that much. He only needs 100,000 more to clean up this game. Could, in fact, let's be honest, he could sell out of all of his stock and win the game on the spot if he wanted to.
Yes, I think I'd be very tempted to do that. I mean, 90% now.
Price manipulations to begin
Dump some
shortly.
stock, clean it up.
Now, Pollina's price is going to go up during all of this, while she buys stock in response, but it should be more than enough combined with this launch.
Yeah, once that launch comes in, he's
Look
pretty
at
much
all
got
the
it.
money.
There we go. That's going to get cleaned up very, very shortly.
Yeah, he just needs to sell down.
And it's done.
There you go. So that was a 2-0 victory over to Fox in pretty similar games in a lot of ways, actually. Pollina ending up expansive both times. I really hate that we didn't see a scientist down here next to all this water.
I think that would have been the correct play, quite honestly.
Yeah, there's also riverbed tiles there, so you're very likely to hit water with further core samples.
Oh god.
But
Yeah.
Fox makes it happen with the stranger spot, manages to use core samples very effectively combined with slant drilling to get a patch of iron that he needed.
Yeah, he made it difficult for himself though, didn't he?
He did. A lot more difficult than it needed to be, I think.
Definitely, definitely. Pollina, I think, had the opportunity early on to punish Fox for his strange play, but didn't seem to be able to do that.
Yeah, worth noting as well, by the way, that the sand does extend all the way out to, for anybody watching my screen, about where I'm looking now, halfway between the two players' bases, effectively. So there was a decent opportunity to core sample out some silicon there, if necessary, as well this game, no matter who you were playing.
Yeah, I don't think Pollina... Oh, she did take some silicon in the end. But, yeah, well played by both players there. Very interesting games.
Certainly was interesting. Very different games from our first series today, that's for sure.
Yes. Hopefully they've learnt by the mistakes that we saw earlier.
Yeah, that was...
Interesting, to say the least.
I still don't have anything good to say about that second game in particular.
Well, you're going to have to excuse me. I've got to wrap things up now. I've got to go and have some dinner, feed the family. So I'll bow out for the next one, but I'll be back later to watch.
Sounds good. I'll let you go on out.
Brilliant. Thanks very much, Zoltar. I'll catch you all again soon.